Hi everybody, welcome back to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way, and we are still continuing down session 174. This is part 2. In the first part, the two different groups of the Crass Menagerie came to realization of what had happened to them, that they were somehow brought into a dreamscape, that they somehow followed along Davis's dreams that first started pleasant and then spiraled down to this nightmarish battle. Different elements were brought in by different players into the dreamscape, and we're kind of picking up there with Gloom coming to find Davis, Al, and Ben at the Dreamcatcher's temple over in the Kneeling District, as he was sent after Karos, Cielo, and Rock had brought up that their friends had gone in that direction. They're now the group, the entirety of the Crass Menagerie, have reconvened and gathered in the Alabastras, the monastic-like structures next to the Alabaster Museum that is primarily operated by the Unveilers, their allies, and their friend now, Ofuma. And we are going to see what my players decide to talk about and do. It is now evening proper. The sun is fully set. The moons are out. The stars are dotting the sky. And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Real quick, on the way, so because you said it's like an hour plus travel,
Yeah.
um, I would have talked to Al and Ben. I would have asked about, in the interest of, trying to figure out all this stuff, like some of this, like I'm getting vague uh, memories of some of this stuff. Is there? I mean, I think there's ways, like magically or something, to go to like check out memories or like not the same as what we were trying to do with the dreams, right? There's I don't know, there's ways of kind of digging for memories or something, right? I don't know.
Oh, that sounds familiar. I'd have to go back through,
Is that
honestly,
something you guys know?
list of songs.
Adam, with that, are there any gods of the 11 that could help with that?
Oh no. Now we're just doing it all over again.
Have you heard of my good friend, the Dreamcatcher?
The
So,
memory
so,
catcher.
so, so, unfortunately, the one that, besides the one that you recently just interacted with, it depends on how abstract you'd like to think about it. Are you proficient in
Well,
religion? Yes, right?
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, so without
Well,
having
yes,
Sounds like
maybe not
mentor.
necessarily dreams, but history.
how about you go through history and stuff like that? Okay. Sure. So because you're proficient in religion, it depends on how you wish to kind of yeah, approach it in an abstract way. So the best way I can explain it is, uh, the Dreamcatcher is the obvious one because she is literally the god of messengers. That's one of her domains. However, if you want to go more in the abstract, you can say, well, like, if you want to take a magical approach to it, it could be that the Astrolith, because it is the neutral deity of magics. They might be able to help you. It could be that the deity of knowledge, so the mentor, perhaps they can help you uncover knowledges forgotten or
Yeah,
suppressed.
that would be the
It
one.
depends on how you're looking at it. It could be that you go to the Wilding, the deity of nature, because they have a feel and a look on all things around the world. So maybe they can help you point you in the right direction or at least to a location. It depends on how you wish to approach it. Now, of course, you could go to the Tyrant, the Dire Tyrant, or you could go to the Schemer beyond compare, because the Schemer likely hears rumors, gets facts, builds a repository so they can plot and ploy and take advantage. It depends on how you want to approach it.
I'll basically, and Ben speak, say that to Al and Davis, and Ben will go. I think knowledge first.
Okay.
Sounds the safest. I like that. Um,
Yeah.
Real quick, Adam.
Now,
On the other
also,
side,
Now, also spells help with remember too.
That's what I was
Yes.
looking for.
I was gonna ask that. On the other side of the coin, can I make it like an Arcana history to see if I've ever heard of or know of a spell that
It'll be
could do something
Arcana.
like that?
Yeah, it'd be
Arcana.
Arcana. I would have to think about it too because I don't exactly remember what all the spells.
Reverse
Because
modify
I already
memory. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, there is
Uh,
literally Dream, right? There is
True.
the one that lets you
Yeah.
go into someone's dreams.
15. One of my better Arcanas.
Um,
Wow, you're really bad at that.
He's not very smart.
Yeah. I mean, you're good at most things, and that's one of the things you're not that good at.
Alright,
Mhm.
5e. I actually have to think of spells. I don't think there's
But you
any
could.
with a 15. Like, from your
Mhm.
knowledge pool, I don't think there's any 5th level spells or lower that would give you that. I'm just trying to think.
Davis will see Al squint really hard in the distance. He's like, nah, I don't
So
think that
there
exists.
is okay, so there is one. You're not entirely sure about it. There is a it actually is a 5th level spell. Okay. So there is one that it literally is called Dream. So you can look it up.
Oh,
It is on the Bard spell list,
Oh, nice.
but it is a complicated spell.
My
So
favorite.
yeah,
It's a lot of paragraphs. I'll start reading that
yeah. Make sure you look at the Materia version.
so I can. Al will have heard of this
It's on your
You
spell
would
list. So.
vaguely.
have a hunch about it, yeah. And then what was that, Skillo?
Can, because of my background, can I help?
Yeah. When Al gets back to, because this is, I think
This
Davis's
is
while
on.
these
Is
while they
yeah,
were
on the way
walking.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
Transit.
gotcha.
Yeah. But like
But
once
we're
you guys
going open
start,
book, so yeah,
yeah.
it'll probably
Once
come up.
the- yeah.
Now,
By all means, though, you can look at other spells, and if there's other ones that you guys can think or obscure, Al, you rolled a 15, so 5th level or lower. There might be other ones higher, but you definitely don't know about those right now.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
now, I'm assuming I would know this, Adam. If I'm not, just back up.
Yep.
But I'll let Al and Davis know. Also, cleric of knowledge.
Ah, if only we had one of those.
If only.
Hmm. Oh well.
Davis
I'll
clearly
do that.
doesn't say that.
Yeah.
See, I don't know out of game
None of us
or
know.
in game. Ben don't that. I've
None of.
never seen him cast a cleric spell.
I mean, we've
Very
we've
true.
seen
No,
we've seen him
he's our
cast cleric
wizard.
spells,
Mm-hmm. In the
Yep.
but
known
we
event.
don't know he's a fucking knowledge cleric.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
fine.
we don't know what that means. Yeah.
But also a high level knowledge cleric. I'm assuming I would know something about that. They have the ability to pull up past
Oh yeah,
memories
that's
and
true.
visions and stuff like that.
You would understand that there's rumors and such, right? Like they can
Yeah.
help peel away the forgotten to reveal the truth and the histories and stuff. You keep in mind, guys, again, I have to stress this. High level, there are maybe about a few hundred high level individuals in all of Materia, right?
We are the
Mhm.
1%.
And we're them, yeah.
I
You
need a
are
professional. You are the professional. Ah shit.
No.
yeah, exactly. Like, so
I'll tell
yes,
my brother to go find one.
yeah. So,
Nice.
so Ben, the one little thing that I can say, because it is canon in my world, right? There is the domain. The domain is the organization of the people that represent the various deities and the various domains that they, reflect upon. And there is a head of each domain. Your brother
Hmm.
is the head of the domain of death. You had been asked to be, or to be trained for becoming the head of the domain of uh, light and retribution and stuff like that, right? Um, so there must be a domain, or you think if there is someone that is the head of the domain of like knowledge or truth or something, maybe. Eh. Hi, baby.
Well, could we say I had this thought before we left the kneeling district and asked somebody in the kneeling district, is there a temple to or is it considered like a house, a school? What is it considered, or just domain?
So
What would
domains
the
are the
title
abstract.
be?
Oh,
Like
well,
Mort is the head of the domain for death, but what do you call it? The house of death? What's the word
me
that
one
they
second.
would
I have
use?
no. So the actual organization is literally called the domain.
Okay.
That is what the organization is known as. And I wouldn't necessarily know how well and intrusive it is into everyone's lives. Like people that are moderate to higher tier in worship and stuff like that would have heard of the organization known as the domain because they are essentially like the higher echelon, the ones
Got
that
it.
give the
Got it.
orders and stuff. So, but they are just literally called like domain representatives, or they are the head, the high cleric of blank.
Got it.
So
Okay.
we're rolling in.
Well, yeah, we can roll in, but when we get there, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
I got one more sending spell.
So rolling into the alabasters now, or is there
Yeah.
anything else you guys wanted to discuss? Okay.
I
So
just say
now,
Al is still squinting. He's like, wait, I think I might have something, Davis, and he'll just be thinking deep thought for like the next few minutes of the run. He's like, no, I, I think I remember something, but I need the remembering spell to remember that something I think I remembered. Well, just give me a minute. You'll just
I cast the spell Remember. Yeah,
Yep.
gotcha. I gotcha.
yeah.
You remember?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, sorry, wrong
Wrong
genre.
universe. Yeah.
Yeah, wrong genre.
Alright. Okay, so yes, as was alluded to, Cielo, your ears would perk up as you hear footsteps approaching closer to the room where Pebble, Rock, and Karos and yourself are resting and recuperating, kind of, taking it easy. Um, you've had the itch to leave this room, but at the same time, you're just kind of happy to be taking it easy. You hear footsteps kind of approaching, uh, so you're not surprised when you see the doors open and your companions walk on through. Here you
Oh,
go. Your friends are here.
Hey, I'll
Oh.
say Davis walks into the room with a look of relief. Of course, comes over, but then like immediately followed by a look of shame, I guess, because he feels like he fucked up.
I roll over in like the bed stuff, and I say 15 more minutes.
can I retcon 2 lines before we got to this point? Sorry. I
Sure.
forgot. I meant to ask the guy, hey, by any chance, Gloom, by any chance, did they cough up salt water while they were
Uh,
asleep?
I believe that their clothes and everything were drenched in salt water. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, but
Tracks.
no. Okay.
So yeah, as they like open it, right? Al, because you're looking for it, they did not have their stuff prestidigitation. So yeah, you get the smell of salt water as you open the door.
Oof. So y'all
Right.
definitely were with the. Y'all were on the boat, weren't you? Here, I'll help dry y'all off. I'll,
It
I'll
was a
just kind of
tough
start.
night. I
You're
think.
y'all are
I don't even know if it was night.
y'all are okay though, right?
Karos would put it
Well,
tough morning, but yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, everybody's fine thanks to thanks to our caregivers. They. Luckily, we were around a place with healers and I don't know, fancy stuff.
And
Yeah, we were around some fancy stuff.
and
Oh.
Rock,
Sorry about that.
how did you get here, Rock? If Rock's able to respond, sorry.
So what was that?
Oh well, since they were talking about, thankfully we were around, people, blah 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 blah. I said, Rock. So how did you get here?
Karos would put
Um,
in. Uh, they we were told they brought him here.
yeah, I was carried here unconscious because of your dream that you sucked me into. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I was having a good time drinking, and thinking about friends, and then all of a sudden, I'm a kenku, and then I'm in a
Wait.
whale.
You were a Kenku?
Yeah, it started off weird.
Okay.
Was it cool at least?
At
Did
least,
it
at
change?
least I didn't have wrinkly old man hands.
Okay.
That's a plus.
Speaking of friends,
Do you guys
Rock.
like my bag? We met him.
Yeah.
He's a whale.
Okay. Wow. You
Yeah.
knew exactly the question I was gonna ask, I guess. That was your bag.
Yeah, he's friendly. I told you guys he was my friend, and he made it so my headaches aren't as bad. I didn't know he was a whale.
Yeah, that was scary at first, but then I guess he was on our side. But it was definitely scary when he was charging the ship. I think he was charging the ship.
Rock, how? Just how? Like how? All of the things, and like how?
That's a question I ask myself a lot about basically everything I do.
And the answers are.
I, dumb luck, divine intervention, good friends. I don't know, a
The good
combination
friend,
of all of those.
good friends bit has my vote. I think making friends with anything and everything has helped so far. Well, especially in this case. With a long history, I got a review for that, but trying to make friends is a good idea.
Somebody's probably got a lucky coin up their butt, and I'm just gonna flip the fickle coin that I happen to have.
That's fair. Yeah.
Not that I ever use it, but I do have it.
Yup. Yeah. And it is a very lucky coin or a very unlucky coin,
Alright.
depending on
True.
how it feels.
It's Tails. What's happening? What's happening?
But
So
yeah,
you.
I don't. Maybe it's just be good to the things in the world, and they'll be good to you. And you all were like, "Oh, bag, it eats us. It's terrible. You should get rid of it." And I was like, nah. We can communicate. We can be friends.
That's surprisingly really smart. Sorry, not surprising. But that is really smart.
I'll admit, I've been scared of the bag, but yeah, it's not necessarily evil. It's just hungry.
Oh, I'm
It
still.
is definitely not from here. Remember in the spooky tower we were in, as our good Kenku friend would have said, Marb. Um, the weird alien things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Oh,
Like not one of those specific that, but because it's a whale. But it's the same.
As the nasty things that were surrounding everybody.
Yeah, but I mean those were nasty and influenced by necromancer stuff.
I'm
Maybe they were good at one point too. That I don't know, but
staring at Ben.
Wait,
Yeah.
out of character. Was that there's the maze, there's the trolls. Was the
He's talking below the maze, I think. He's talking
Yeah,
about the zombie beholders.
yeah.
mm,
I remember
okay,
those things were
aberrations? Okay,
messed up.
yeah, those were not meant to be. That was anything like
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
If you remember, or for those people that worked with us, Donnie at the time, yeah, the Necromancer's Tower, which was the underneath labyrinth, was made of bones, right? It was starting to be consumed and replaced by fleshy walls and stuff like that. So
I
yeah,
remember the
it
images
was def-
still. Ugh.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So this will be Ben's first time hearing that, right?
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
You may have heard them mention a necromancer's tower at some point, but they never got into any details.
I like
What I
the
don't get is why everybody here doesn't seem to understand that when you're on a boat, you get wet.
that
well,
makes sense, but I thought dreams feel real. They don't. This is the first time I
Well,
brought something back.
it was like we started in a dream, but then we kind of just ended up in a different plane. Like the dream sucked us into a different world, different kind of, sort of. I don't know.
Oh,
Was
all right,
there?
Rock Arcana check, go.
I will say
Great Al.
Davis is
I don't.
shrinking this entire time. He's like trying to hide almost as much as he ever
Oh.
does.
Oh.
Hey, I rolled a good Arcana for once. 29.
Whoa.
Jeez.
29.
My
Okay.
man.
All right.
I love
so,
how he says a good Arcana check, 29. Good, just
Yeah.
good.
You know,
Well, I mean,
you know,
all my other rolls were 5 or less.
so for context, right? What is it? I think the DMG or the PHB says a near impossible check is a DC 30. Yeah, right. So 29 total. Um, you're kind of going down the right thread here. I'm going to not drag you down because you're at work and I don't want it to be difficult for you to share all the information. So this is what you kind of are able to pick up with a 29 total. Yes, the dream was weird. Yes, you started in a dream, and you understand that the reason y'all got sucked into the dream was because of the broken engine effect on the telepathic bond, right? That is a fact that now Rock understands. Broken engine, meta magic affecting your telepathic bond made it go wonky. Now, why the bag was there? You use the telepathic bond to communicate through the bag. You have a connection with the bag. It's not too abstract to say that the bag was also brought in. Now, the broken engine, as you understand it, is an engine that allows you to manipulate magic. That was its purpose. Telly is an item that allows you to manipulate um, teleportation and plane shifting. So yeah, as stupid and as crazy as it sounds with the 29, you are actually confident that you are correct that the dream did actually bleed into another realm. And that was another reason. You don't understand it, but I will say this out loud so it makes sense to my other players. That was also a reason why Delaney could not find y'all at the end. Because you literally left the dreamscape. You went to another realm.
I mean, so if. I mean, I'm pointing fingers at you guys for whatever you did to start this whole thing, but kind of was mostly my fault things ended up how they did. Because
So
the telepathic bond that we have,
I'm gonna start slapping Davis on the back when
Is-
Rock mentions it wasn't entirely Davis's fault.
is-
Yeah, appreciate it.
why most of us got drawn in, and I'm friends with the bag, so he came to, and the other magical things, just everything that I have, kind of just made it happen. So my bad, but not really, because I didn't. When he told me you guys were going to do this, I wouldn't have known that any of this would happen. It's all very happenstance.
fair. It's extremely happenstance. Yeah.
We can't be playing the blame game here. That a lot of shit happened. We made it out. We can learn from it, but we gotta. We're all everybody's good. Everybody's good. I'm just kind of like motioning at everybody. Everybody's okay. But
I mean,
what is the point?
I woke up drenched, like I sweat and I smell like barnacles, but I feel lighter.
I stopped playing the song. I'm sorry.
I
He'll
feel
pull out
pretty
his-
alright, actually.
I'm gonna pull out the lute again and start presidentating Cielo.
Oh,
I stopped. I stopped after Rock mentioned we shifted planes. I was like, "Ding, huh?
man, you're good at that.
It's
Also,
good to be clean. Cleanliness next to godliness.
if anyone has any ideas, my one little sputtering orb here, I'm going to just point to the broken engine. That one's broken. It
Okay.
still works, but it's not
I
like
thought-
I don't know what it's going to do when it's fixed. And we
I,
did get it in an evil place, so they could be scary, but it's not working how it should. And I thought in the dream that maybe getting a big power burst on it would help, but that just hurt a lot and didn't fix anything.
For context, for people that don't realize, he took the equivalent of an ancient black or ancient dragon's breath to the face and was fine. Wizards, they're not tanky at all. Hey.
Brock, you said we went somewhere else. Do you know where?
No.
I mean, was it
that part
here?
I can't really tell you because, like, again, you know, I'm gonna just point to my two spinning orbs. They had a part in it each. I'm not quite sure how everything connects, but
They had a part. The orb and the
yeah,
bag. Okay.
right. Because you've seen this one here helps me proof things,
Yeah.
so it kind of proofed us to there maybe,
Whoa.
and the other one again, it's broken, so it might have. It just didn't. Stuff just happens. I mean, you guys have been around me long enough. Stuff just happens.
But could it
For
have
sure.
been? Could it have been here?
Wait.
I don't think so, because the alien things were there.
Yeah.
I think we were visiting them. I don't think
No.
they were visiting us.
I think they might.
Yeah, so Davis, Carros, and Ben, y'all can roll me survival or history,
Okay.
whichever one you want to do. And someone needs to roll for Carros.
Someone
can do that.
else. Nice. I'm trying to think if there's any way I can buff this. I want this to work.
Davis, which one are you
Don't
rolling?
see it. Survival. I mean, I could do either, but survival's better.
I'll do history for Karos.
Alright, I'll just roll it. Let the dice speak. Alright, that's not bad. Oh shit. Alright, Carlos, just fucking slam dunk it, please.
Step aside.
Jeez, a 30? Oh, wow, okay.
With a natural 20.
I was there when it happened.
Yeah. So,
When dreams were invented.
so when Rock says y'all were taken to another, y'all shifted or y'all were taken to another place or another, Rock is fixated that plane realm, not.
You're
Yeah,
cutting
you
out a
cut out
bit.
real bad.
Oh, did I? Is that better?
It's better now.
Yes.
Okay. So Rock is kind of fixated on the idea of y'all were taken to another realm, another plane.
Mhm.
Carlos is like, no, man, we were taken somewhere else in this plane.
Yeah, okay.
And he, like, I don't know how to explain it, but my gut tells me we didn't go somewhere else. I'm gonna use the word projected. I don't know. Feels right.
So,
Somewhere here.
Al, Ben, remember how I was asking about kind of helping clarify or recall memories? You know, other than that dream
Yeah.
stuff, maybe. But it, in the moment, seemed like just totally foreign and weird, and I just, because of all the nasty things in it, just, but, you know, after recovering, sitting on it for a bit, thinking about it, it actually was pretty familiar where we were. And I might have been there a long time ago.
What? Okay, I need to know 2 points then. When did you start recognizing stuff? And I'll point to Rock. And when do you think we jumped to another realm, jumped to out of the dream? Was it when the whale appeared? Or was it after?
If you're asking me when did I start recognizing stuff in the dream?
Mm-hmm.
All of it. Literally all of it.
No, I mean they were all real to you.
Yeah.
They were all real to you? The last
Well,
piece?
honestly, no. The last piece at first seemed the strangest, but I think it's just. Listen, I'm not super thrilled with all the things that I've done, and
That's fine. It's more unexpected. There's a lot of baggage with this crew. I've noticed. Nobody's exempt, but that's it. Just takes a minute. That was you actually had been to something. You seen that in real life?
Yeah, I think so.
Davis,
Yeah.
you no remember or no want to tell?
Oh, I want to tell.
Real quick, Ben, I meant to do this earlier when we were at the place. Thank you for the restoration, and I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder, and I'll give him grant him tongues.
Oh shit, nice.
Okay, cool.
An hour.
So I'll be like, yeah, I'll be like, so is it the fact that you don't want to remember or you can't remember?
No, it's more. I think. I mean, it's what do you call it? Suppressing a memory, right?
Ah,
It was traumatic, frankly, right?
Yes. Okay, Adam, what I'm trying to figure out here is could I use Zone of Truth to ask Davis questions? Because if he's willing, he will not deliberately lie. So would that go beyond or overcome his possible memory block or memory issue?
ooh, I guess like subconscious. How does that work?
I didn't think about it. I like it. Go ahead and roll me a medicine check. And
Using your new shit.
Okay, medicine. Okay.
uh,
Can I guidance myself?
yes, yeah, you definitely can. Zone of truth, right? Oh, jeez.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
27.
Voice.
Um,
Professional.
definitely stretching it, but I like the idea, and you're skilled enough with a 27 that you think you might be able to help Davis navigate whatever might be suppressed. Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna let everybody know what I'm going to do. So for 10 minutes, if you're within 15 feet of me and you're willing, you will not be able to lie. If you're unwilling, you will have to make a save if you try to speak a deliberate lie. What I am trying to do is think of questions that we could ask Davis that this zone will make him remember and answer them truthfully.
But
Have you
The
done this before?
No.
what level? It's a lower level spell, right? Like
2.
3 and under. 2.
2.
Okay.
Well, it's something that I recently uncovered that I'm able to do.
Yeah.
If,
Okay. But I
if
feel like Rock and I would probably recognize it at least.
I mean, if I may, how about I just tell you what I do remember, and then you can kind of go from there. I mean, you're
Okay,
welcome.
I believe you.
But we got glowing magic.
no, it's not that. Is I'm a reason why I'm telling everybody is that way we can kind of think of some questions that we would ask. They were very,
Yeah, pointed.
concise answers.
Out
So
of
yeah,
character.
actually it makes a good point. You tell us what you know, and then maybe from that and what we know and what we saw, we can kind of formulate some questions.
Yeah, I'm down.
So we ask first and then put down a zone. Am I getting that right?
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna.
Nice.
You
All
guys are
right.
going to need to take notes.
Yeah, or I describe, and obviously Adam, you'll fill in little bits or lots of bits. I don't know.
Yep. Well, it'll be kind of a combo between me and you, because part of it I'm going to let you just make the fuck up,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And if I start
Yeah.
filling in gaps that are wrong, obviously you can just interrupt. So
Yeah.
we'll riff. It's
Groups
fine.
are telling. I love the ref of like, hey, that's dumb. Don't do that. No.
Yeah, we roll. But yeah, I really like the use. This is a cool use. So
yeah,
go
I think it's
for it.
fun.
Yeah, 10 years ago the world exploded. Now we're here.
Nah.
Am I only 10? Oh
Well,
shit.
well, the world of materia is about 4 years old now, so that's how far history goes back. Yeah.
We're all baboos? Oh shit.
So
Right?
yeah, I'll just, I guess, let you know what I do remember, and it's, I mean, it's coming back as the more I kind of think about it. But yeah, no. So what most of you saw in that dreamscape, I mean, basically was, with little bits here and there kind of exaggerated or slightly off or slightly different. That pretty much was kind of my story, right? And I've shown you guys, and I'll actually summon the Redeemer, show it to everybody. I was like, we worked on this, we forged this together. It contains kind of my story pictorially here. And I'll kind of just briefly walk through, like, you see this, 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 it all lines up, right? Like, going to shipshape, joining, Fortune's Favor, the crew on that, meeting Lily, and then taking the helm of the Precious Balance. And so basically, yeah, so the long story short was, yeah, I was doing merchant work for a long time. Eventually, I joined a pirate crew, and then I eventually, pretty quickly, led my own ship. And, but I realize now that all that was stupid and bad, and Lily essentially duped me into being a captain for her, to kind of, loot, pillage, steal from basically whoever. Didn't matter. Frankly, that's kind of why I left to form the Rabble Rousers, is to get the fuck out of there. And she's probably not real happy with me. I didn't exactly ask her permission to leave. That's why, like, you heard Ash. I mean, that's the name that I used back then. That's why I'm not Ash anymore, because I don't really exactly want her to track me down, although, we're becoming pretty well known that... But I have you guys to protect me, if anything, if she were to come, because, I don't know. I think we'd be okay against her, but anyway. Yeah, so, for the most part, I was kind of on my own, but, she approached, gosh, this is so many years ago, and said that she knew of just this unfathomable score way out in the Lucidian. Is that right, Adam? Is it out in the Lucidian?
Sure, it's in the Lucidian. That's where you wanted to be.
Yeah, sure. Way out in the Lucidian, that was just sitting there ready to, like, some long forgot, long lost thing way underwater. No normal crew would ever be able to do that, but we had a lot of funds and we had a lot of manpower, so we should go take it out or check it out and then take what we want. So we prepped for a couple months, actually, made our way out there. Like, it was miles and miles and miles offshore, and I mean, it's still a little fuzzy, but I remember we kind of encountered some things that we didn't expect. Like, we thought it was just going to be go in, grab whatever you can, and get the hell out. Maybe some sharks, maybe some other nasty underwater things here and there, but nothing, the crews of at least 2 large ships, and then, a couple extra folks, a couple extra crews that we pulled in couldn't handle. But then something kind of like what we saw in the dream was there, and we were gripped with fear. And I mean, after it took out a couple of people, like, real fast in front of us, I think we all just turned tail and ran, because it was terrifying. And, like, Davis is at this moment, his, like, he's got his kind of, like, darkish gray skin. He's pale. He's, like, looking very pale at this moment, and now it's starting to kind of, like, sputter. So that's what I remember. Fire away, I guess.
Well, out of game, I got some things here, but I want input from everybody else because we can role play it in game, of course. Because I don't want to cast this because it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yep.
But I don't want to do it until we've got things. So this is the ones I came up with so far. I was thinking because of the ship thing and coordinates.
Yeah.
It was exactly latitude, longitude, but
Remember, I
the location.
proficient with navigators and cartographers tools.
Oh yeah.
Well, James knows that. Ben is kind of making an assumption.
Yeah.
Because of the conversations we've had, but I don't know latitude and longitude. I'm not a sailor, so I don't know that. But I'm assuming there's some way that you guys find locations on water.
You know,
I like those.
but
I
I
think those are
will.
good.
Those are good. Yeah.
Anybody else have anything else they want to ask? Because it's 10 minutes. Might as well,
Well, what was the thing that you were scared of?
if it's the squid things, they're called elithids or mind flayers.
Oh, those things.
And I'll look at Karos because I remember seeing his face of recognition, and
Uh,
I'll be like, I am familiar with.
Ben and Karos, go ahead and give me Arcana checks. Ben, for the sake of this, you are proficient because it's part of your backstory. Actually, Karos should be proficient if he's not because it's part of y'all's backstory. But Arcana checks.
Corbin out here stealing identities.
No, Karos is rolling that. Coin.
Testos is ruling that.
Test those.
And Ben, you can guidance yourself if needed. That's fine.
I will have one question before
So 23.
the zone
Right.
of truth.
Alright, what did Karos roll?
I flipped a D2 on accident. Wait, what is this? I flipped a D2
An
on accident.
Arcana, but he's proficient if he's not normally proficient.
You said Karos?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Ben
He's
was
proficient.
talking with Karos about this part, so yeah.
Shit. Okay, plus proficiency if he's not.
Yep.
Plus 5.
Yep, that's right.
Normal roll. No advantage. Going.
Ooh, that was almost a 1.
Ooh. Could have been bad. Oh yeah, he's a smart boy. 17.
Okay. Ben, you are confident of it. Karos is a little fuzzy. The ones that you saw in the dream seem to have taken on qualities not completely to what you understand to be completely typical of illithids. They were essentially, to use the same term that I used for the tower's description, they were sodden. They were waterlogged and changed. Let me go ahead and get those tokens for you so you can kind of see them again. So, typically illithids are, you guys know they are, right? They're smooth.
They're friendly.
These tokens coming.
I just want a hug.
Yeah.
Actually, they want to make out with you.
They
Yeah,
really
they want a face hug.
They want a face hug.
Just a sloppy kiss.
I did post another question in chat.
Yeah. So, to do the little zoom in shifting, you can see that they actually took on some more like actual squid, actual sea-like barnacle qualities. They are still illithid, but they have changed themselves to either maybe adapt to an aquatic environment or experimentation or something. Because Ben, they like to experiment. Karos knows they like to experiment. So these, rather than having like the smooth tentacles, right, and all that, these actually have aquatic features.
Mm-hmm. And
Now,
do we know? Because I know you said it out to other people, but I don't know if we actually realize it. Do we realize that's the Sodden Tower, which is one of the
And Nikolai.
whatchamadoodles? Yeah.
someone recognized it because
Okay, I
of
didn't
the
know if anybody
symbol.
said that or not.
Yeah, well, I mean, you all
I think that
basically
was.
would recognize the symbol.
I think it was only rock. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just naming it the Sodden Tower because that's my official name for it in the notes, right? You guys wouldn't have a proper name for it, but
He's
just
like that symbol, that thing.
the waterlogged tower,
I think
essentially,
so.
right?
It was everybody saw it, everybody recalls it. It was only rock that knew to correlate it to past events.
Immediately, yeah.
Immediately. Okay.
Because if you take enough time, like you will all have seen this symbol. You straight up would have, but
Right.
like Rock was like, mm.
I got it.
I got it instantly, kind of thing.
So for game's sake, can we say that we've all, throughout the last hour or two, we've realized that the symbol
Sure.
is what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's the key to that tower. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm, this has been talking again, correct me if I'm wrong, where the Hendecolite place, don't they have
Sculpted
ways
tower.
to travel between the towers?
Yes, that was that portal room we saw, right?
So does that mean that that place we went to in the waterfall is connected to that place under the water?
Yep. If I'm not, am I right?
Which is great, which is good and bad for us because that means we could travel there, but that means they could also potentially travel here.
Or the choke, or any of the other places.
Yeah, any of the other places. But I'm thinking of what I know of the Illithids. If these are true to what I know of them, their sole purpose, their sole desire is to conquer and enslave.
Yeah. Sounds right. Adam, we haven't heard from you in
My,
a bit.
my people were enslaved by them.
Oh, there you are. Sort of.
Can I,
Adam?
Oh, I'm gonna pause until Adam comes back just to make
Yeah.
sure.
oh,
Do,
Did
do,
you
do,
throw a
do.
BRB anywhere, or is it just the silence? Where
No, what
Yeah.
was the last thing that you guys asked? Sorry, I heard it, but I just wanted to.
I had mentioned that
You guys
that
had been
we
enslaved. You had been warred with it. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So you got everything then. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just
So
basically
for
give them
for
the backstory between the
yeah,
Gith and the Illithids.
yeah. So and for Ben, it is a little bit less. In Materia, it's a little bit obviously a little bit different because there's no astral
Yeah,
sea and stuff like
yeah,
that. But essentially, yes, they are aberrant conquerors or aberrant jackasses that come from the limitless or the cosmic spaces, and Gith were not one of the original, or were not originally from Materia. They found their way to Materia as refugees.
Yeah.
So, um, that's the main difference of it. Like, you guys fought to survive and escape,
yeah.
and that's what happened.
And if I'm wrong on this, just let me know, Adam. But the reason why my people have a lot of the abilities that we do
Hmm?
was that we've adapted and
To combat them.
to combat them.
Yeah, yeah. It's not so much that you guys were just straight up experimented on and made,
No.
as in like a traditional lore. It's like your people were chased across the stars for eons, essentially, and
Yeah.
you guys had to learn to fight
Yeah.
these things.
You know, we adapted or died.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was forced mutation.
You.
And
And
I'll go into the whole
Ben,
story about about everything, so they kind of get the backstory of why I hate this.
yeah. And for Ben, this was the first time Ben had actually ever, I'm going to say this, seen an illithid in person, air
Yeah.
quotes, because they're just more like creatures of story and nightmare at this point, because they've been, it's almost like it's passed on by like genetic memory. That's how he knew it. He knew it from the stories, and he knew from like genetic memory, like this is what this is. My spidey sense is going haywire just because it's so ingrained in the Gith society and the Gith genome. But otherwise, yeah, Ben has never seen one of these things either until the dream.
It's basically, you go into survival mode.
Yeah.
It dies or you die.
Yeah.
Or
So,
you run. Yeah.
yeah.
Normally you can't. They're very powerful. If we got away, it's because they let us get away.
Yeah, we got away because they were feeding. Not really proud of that.
Karos would speak up and say, and this is again, Kyle will elaborate on this more. He's like, well, I think I may have also brought that part into the dream. Because felt one of those things touch me in person before.
When he does that, Ben will walk over and kind of do the one warrior to another clasp on the shoulder and say, I understand, but it's good that you did because we know they're here and it's something that needs to be taken care of.
Can't we just forget it?
I mean,
I mean,
I thought I had.
Ah! Did I lose internet?
Nope. Yeah. Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay,
hello.
cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay. I will let Kyle go into further detail,
Sure.
but he'll kind of say that, well, when I saw and ran into them, let's just say it wasn't water, it was caves, tunnels, and other dark places. And like Ben goes pale. Not like Ben goes like Davis kind of goes pale. Karos, if you could see his skin, would go pale as well.
And I'll be like, I've already contacted my brother.
What did
He
you
is
tell him?
concerned. I told him that we ran into Illithids. We know their rough location and that we did fight them and were able to get away from them. And that we need and ask him what his advice was. And
His
he
response
really,
was essentially, "The rumors are true. I don't know what to do."
pretty much. Oh, and he also said, "Oh, you survived."
Yes, like, and Ben, you get this from the tone in his thing, like shocked that you survived it. You know, not condescending or anything. He's like, "Oh, you survived."
Yeah. It's very rare that they let people survive without enslaving them.
Are we gonna do this?
I am.
Go ahead.
The zone of truth. I have one more question before that. I don't want to pry, so only answer if you need
No.
to, if you can.
Listen, pry. It's fine.
I want to know how, if they're as dangerous as Ben is saying, how. Do you know how many of you and your crew went down, and how many came back?
Oh, like I went down. That's what you meant. Like went. Yeah. Well, many went down as they went down.
So,
Oh,
for context, they brought about 50 pirates.
Yeah. I'd say half made it back, if that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and
Why did you go down there?
why did I go down there? Because Lily told me to. Why did she want to go down there? Because there was rumors that there was riches and treasures.
You can find riches and treasures on the surface. There
Oh
had
yeah.
to have been a more specific reason.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you can do
So
the
I'm gonna,
thing if you want, and
well, I'm gonna look around. Is everyone, like, I'll kind of like mark out the area. If you don't want to be in the area, you may want to step back.
is
You can even say
Davis?
that you draw it on the ground just to kind
Yeah,
of
sure.
visualize.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll pull out a piece of chalk and kind of like just drew a 15-foot radius, which is what 30-foot across. Said I'm
I
gonna
know.
have it centered on me.
Yeah,
I
just
will
draw
be affected as well.
symbols. Yeah.
Is Davis sitting or standing?
at this point, I'm sitting head in hand.
Okay, I'll sit a comfortable distance from Davis within the circle.
So let me look and see what the casting time is on it.
Like, here's why I wish I
Yeah,
had
and
camera on so I could just show you what I'm doing.
yeah, same. This is where I kind of wish we would do Discord cameras and somehow put it in the overlay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can
It's
think
like,
about it.
Can
Actually,
you
if
say
Foundry
did you say
also has camera
head?
stuff, we could look at doing potentially.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you say head in your hands?
Yeah, well, one head, like so, like head, like just head in. My hand is
Oh,
holding
man.
my head up by my forehead. Like I'm just kind of staring at the floor,
Gotcha.
not really keeping any eye contact with anyone.
To your forehead. Is it one fist? Is it both hands, fingers splayed? For the picture?
Finger split.
Or
Yeah.
okay, okay. Nice.
Okay, so I didn't realize how fast it is. It only takes one action to cast it.
Yeah. So you
Okay,
just kind of set
Ready?
it up
Boom.
kind of visually, right, to make it look
Yeah.
kind of like a prayer circle and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then easily enough, it's just a flick
Yeah, and
of the wrist.
I'm just going to kind of look around and kind of give a nod to each individual person making eye contact with them to let them know I'm getting ready to do it because I don't want anybody here that doesn't want to participate. And then I'll just cast a spell
All right. As
using my Thaumaturge points. Where they at? Sorry.
thaumaturge. Yeah.
Debadabster.
Hey, you should add a 3 on
Is
the
one
end
of
of
the
one of them.
charges. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Ben, just for the sake of it, any visual you wish to kind of give, given that the fact that you kind of drew out a circle to represent it and all that, just for
So
fun.
what's gonna happen is it's gonna be quick, like 6 seconds, but you're gonna see like my hands are together, a ball of light will appear, and then will shoot down to the floor and then spread out in a ripple all the way out to the edges of the circle, and it has a light glow to it.
And if you
And
allow me
there's
to add one other
yeah, go ahead.
detail when you're done.
No.
So with the light glow, there's always going to be this like source of illumination, and everyone's shadows that are participating in this, like are willing, their shadows would like be elongated and stretched and almost like pinned to the circle, if that makes sense. Because the light's kind of coming from all places, so your shadow is always behind you and stretched out.
Behind us from the center?
Yep.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm in the center, 15 feet out in every direction from me.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
upon casting it, I'll say for what's funny is so I will submit, but it's like if you could almost feel this moments of hesitation before the submission, you would feel that.
He's aware of creatures that
yes,
fail or
Yeah, but instead of
he
just
can
like
feel that
instead of being
hesitation.
like yeah, sure, it's kind of like fuck, okay, you know.
yeah, I
That
would say like I feel like if you fail, if you succeed, or if you resist.
even if it's that like instinctive resistance,
Yeah.
which
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
for Davis right
Because
now.
my
It's like,
guard is up, but I don't
Yeah.
want it to be up, right?
yeah.
So the first question will be, what is the exact location of the tower? Since you guys were there, you had to have, for lack of a better term, parked your boats on top of it.
Yeah, no. Obviously, yeah, we had to plot a. It's plotting a course.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna look at Rock and like kind of motion for like writing something down.
Yeah, I'll start collecting.
If do we I don't if we had any maps of Ruin with the East Coast, I could show you the general idea. I don't like exact distances and such. I don't think I have, but I could get pretty close. I could actually, I can even make a map for it. I just need some time. It's not easy. We need a pretty good seaworthy ship. It goes through some rough parts. Yeah, it's not just.
And if I may interject,
Yeah, sure.
part of the reason why it's difficult and why people don't go there is, like you said, it's choppy. Like they were not necessarily expecting illithid defenders. It's just dangerous down there. It's in a chasm. Um, it's unstable. There's creatures to be aware of, but it's also just the depth, the terrain, the environment. All of that makes it super difficult to navigate.
Yeah.
And as he mentioned, and this is just they invested a lot of resources for potions of cold resistance, potions of water breathing, stuff like that. So they were prepared.
Yeah, it took us months to get ready. And she had lots of resources. I mean, we do pretty good too, but she invested a lot. And then yeah, it's just getting to that point in the water is, I mean, it's barely even half the trip, right? It's way down there, way down there. It's beyond where like the light gets into almost, right? Like it's dark
So
and
that
murky down
brings
there.
me to my next question. How did you or how did she find out about this place if it's so hard to get to?
I mean, she had a network of all sorts of folks. I don't. I mean, she only told me what I needed to know most of the time, or what she wanted me to know. And actually, here I'll just I don't know. Otherwise, I'm more or less gonna say I don't know, unless the DM wants to interject.
Yeah. So Davis, now that he asked the question, something that will kind of spur into your mind is yes, she only told you things that you needed to know, but she didn't often hide things from you, so you had that sense of trust with her. And yeah, she had contacts and things, right? But a lot of those contacts also told them of important vessels or important people on the water at certain times. And you remember having been called over to bring your ship with her ship to take down a lord's ship at some point, and she was specifically looking for something. And it kind of occurs to you that she stole the information off of some lord's ship, and that's how she found out about this being true, or at least this existing.
Yeah, I'll share that with the group.
Okay. How long ago did you guys attempt the expedition? Or
Let's see. I mean, we've been going for about a year almost. It was rabble rousers, better part of a year. Before that, just making our way across. Wasn't too long ago before that. Maybe 2 years. Maybe yeah, 2 years and change. All right, go ahead.
And this is where I need to make sure I'm following your story.
So it would have been
You
total
were
of
with
4
her
years.
for over.
Yeah, this would
Yeah,
have
but
been
you
in
were
like
with her
year
for
8.
over.
Yeah.
And you were with her for over 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 years ago?
That's about where I'm putting it.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago makes sense. I'm cool with that. That
Okay.
works.
Sure.
and then I'll put in there. Mort told me that he's thought they've been here for about 10 years.
I mean, I don't know how long they were down there. They've been down there. This is the first time I'd seen or heard of anything. Again, I didn't even remember until just now.
Did any of your crew make it inside?
Not alive.
Negatory. Yeah, not alive.
Not alive.
Or not willing. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
If that
yeah,
makes sense.
right. And best I can tell, not alive, right?
Was there anything in particular she mentioned that she wanted you guys to look for whenever you got inside?
I
Bring
mean,
everything up that you can.
yeah, the orders were just anything that looked valuable, bring it. That's what I mean, we were loaded up not for facing hostile forces. We were loaded up for being pack mules, basically. Just cargo. That's whatever we could get.
I'll look around. Does anyone have any other questions?
Davis, give me a personal history check so I can let you use your charisma if you want.
Sure.
And you get a bonus to it equal to Ben's spellcasting modifier, which I think is 5.
4?
5.
5.
5.
So charisma history plus 5.
Ooh, God. Sorry. That's a total of 12.
What was it? 12? Yeah.
I
The
rolled
only
a 3.
The only thing that you'll kind of remember is that there were... So Lily very rarely would bring individuals that were not part of her extended crew, right? Like they had to be essentially like kind of like sworn in under her flag. Does that make sense?
Yep.
There were a few individuals that she brought in that were supposed to help y'all that weren't sworn under y'all's banner. But you don't know what that. They just kind of remember that.
Yeah, we had, I mean, this is rare, and it was only for the bigger jobs. We had some mercenaries that, I mean, if you call them that, I don't know, contractors, whatever you want to call them, that were trusted enough for some of these types of things. So they were along with us.
Ben, I'm gonna give this to you. Give me an insight check.
Ooh, I'm good inside. Let's see here. My passive is a 20. Can I guidance?
You can guidance. Oh, and technically you have advantage because Zone of Truth. Sorry, I forgot to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Duh. My bad.
I'll roll the other d20 real quick.
Yeah.
15's pretty hard to beat. 26.
The total. 26 total?
Yep.
Okay. Let me make sure that I didn't just make something completely up about the Zerai. Shit.
I mean, you're the DM, fucking do
You
it.
have the tech thoughts, right? No, you have the tech thoughts, right? Yeah, you do. This might be a good time to use the tech thoughts on Davis.
Me?
Nice.
You
Got it.
have that ability.
Yes. Okay, let me find
Yeah,
it
Zone of
real
Truth's not
quick.
concentration, so just fucking fire it.
Trying to see
This one
where
as
it
well.
were. Oh, it's one of my gift
Yeah.
enlightenments. So let me find that real quick. Not Featherfall.
I would say at the very least, Rock and probably who's got like super good passive perception. I'm sure Rock does.
My passive is a 20. It's not bad.
That's pretty
Rox
good.
is... a lot of y'all have very high passive perceptions,
Yeah,
to be fair.
Davis is tearing up at this point.
Gotcha.
Wait, perception or insight? Oh, perception.
Perception.
Okay, good. Tearing up.
Notice.
Why am
Yeah,
I
ow.
not seeing detect thoughts?
It might be under your innate spellcasting or something like that.
It's there. It's up the top. Yeah, innate.
Yeah, I see it. Boom. Okay. Yeah, DC 18 wisdom save.
For whom? Me?
And
Yep.
you?
You can choose
I mean,
to
I
fail
can
it.
I can be willing. Yeah. Well, actually, do you say anything? Are you telling me that you're doing this?
Just stares wide-eyed at you.
Actually, I'll look. I'm gonna probe deeper.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll fail.
So yeah, surface level thoughts is Danny. Surface level
God,
thoughts.
like,
Go.
God, it's, I hated that. Like, Lily pisses me off. I'm so pissed off that she owned me for that long, and we should never have gone down there. That was so stupid. Those men didn't have to die. That was pointless. None of this was worth it.
And then I'll probe deeper.
All right. As you probe deeper, Davis doesn't have to do intelligence checks to realize that you're doing it. So the thing about the people that were brought on, you're kind of able to start gleaming maybe what Davis kind of remembers their faces or their affiliations, stuff like that. And I think because Ben is not expecting just treasures, right? Ben is expecting other things. Like, why would
Yeah,
someone come
like
here?
there's got to be some reason why you're going 20 fathoms underneath the dang water to figure out, when there's easier places to find treasure.
Yeah. And well, yes, there was a lot of treasure because as you saw in the dream, there was treasure strewn about, glittering with what little light could actually hit it. There was that reflex of gold, gems, and all that. So maybe that is there. And this is Davis not knowing that he knew this, right? This is something like he picked up on, but you're digging into his head and trying to find it. There were some of the people that Lily enlisted or that we're working with were definitely um, capable with magic. They were definitely the type of folks that would want to seek out powerful artifacts or powerful instruments of magic. Um, they they give you the sense like of, if I were going to say like modern terms, they would be like black market weapons dealers, right? They were good at what they did. They knew what they were looking for. It's very likely that the crew being sent down would have been sent down to loot whatever they could. And then once they were done looting, trusted individuals with these other individuals that were hired would go down there for the real purpose. And the real purpose was probably to find something powerful or something old or something, some sort of relic or artifact or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of figuring because the connection with the Hendeka and all that.
Yep.
One thing everyone's going to notice, I'm just going to add a little flavor here, Adam,
Uh-huh.
is Ben will kind of waver a little bit because of stress, and you'll see blood start coming out of his nose.
Jeez, okay.
You okay?
Yeah, yes, yeah, and I'll just kind of wipe it away. Um, I'll let you know once the spell's done. I don't want to waste any time, but I found something else out digging into your mind.
Yeah,
Um,
go as far as you want.
did did anybody else have any questions? They were after a very powerful item, I think.
Oh, but no other
Did,
questions for this expedition. No.
do we have? Well, does anyone have anything else that they remember or understand about this the underground mage tower? Do anyone have any information about it other than what we have right now? Okay. I'm getting ready to end this spell, and jokingly, just to kind of make a little levity, I'm gonna look at Cielo and say, "Have you stolen anything lately?" And then I'll drop the spell before he answers.
Oh, got it. So your shadows become unpinned. The source of light that has been at the center dims. Yeah, Davis is in a swell of emotions. Um,
Yeah, can
And
I go?
I'll
Ben,
look at Dave. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I go?
this is a long. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, as Davis. I'm asking. Can I?
Oh, can
I mean, I'm happy to stay and talk, but if we're done,
Well, I just wanted to let you know, Davis, you were tricked,
oh, I know.
or you were not told the whole truth.
Yeah, for a decade I wasn't
Those
told the whole truth.
tho- those mercenaries were there for a specific reason. That was the reason for the expedition. The treasure was just bonus.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That makes sense. I'm I'm
Ha-
I'm glad you
And I'll
finally
kind of like,
figured that out.
and I'll give him a knowing nod, knowing that he probably wants to be alone for a little bit.
Thanks.
I'll look at Al. We may have a problem.
Oh,
Well, you remember the items we found on the sorcerer when we found the first Hendecolite area and how powerful those items were, and then the other things we've seen since then, the choke and all of that. I think those mercenaries that Davis was talking about were looking for items of that caliber or higher in that tower.
that powerful. Oof.
Yes. And I started looking at some of the items that we have and that we've collected from the sorcerer and the choke and all of that. I'm like, if these got into the wrong hands.
This is dangerous. It's beyond dangerous.
Yes. And if Cielo and Rock are here, I'll look at them. I think we need to do something about this sooner than later. And
Davis,
Carl as well.
actually, Davis will walk back in. He walked out, and then I'll say maybe 2 minutes later, turned around, walked back in. I have a terrible idea. If anybody's
Ben
That's what
kind of
interested.
we're all
smiled.
about. That's how we do things. What's your idea?
I mean, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I guess you were able to figure out some of the stuff. Like, I guess I knew but didn't know a lot of things. But there is one person who knew everything. We could always talk to her.
You know where she is?
No. But we have ways of finding people and getting in touch with people, right? I mean, you can talk to your brother across the continent. I'm just, it's a bad idea. Like I said, it's a really stupid idea.
But is
You
it worse?
said
Is it more worse than not doing something about it before it's too late?
I don't know.
earlier you said if she was hunting you, somehow found you,
I don't know
you
that
feel
she's hunting
confident.
me per se. I just don't think she'd be real thrilled for me to
But I'm assuming you
reunite.
feel more confident if she would have come to us on land as opposed to us going out to her on
Oh no,
at
she's
the
pretty
sea,
scary no matter where she is. She's got
regardless.
friends in high places and she's been doing this a long time.
Good to know. Okay, so not much of a difference whether we search for. Okay, okay. Bad idea regardless is what I'm hearing.
But those are usually the best ones we have.
Yeah, that's
True.
why I mentioned it. It is without question that's a really, really terrible idea. Really terrible. Like, and actually, Davis, like, y'all insight is crazy, and Davis, like, he's fucking scared. He's petrified at his own idea.
I'm I'm convinced as the team that is the menagerie. I, after all the shit we've been through, I know we can do anything. We can figure this one out. If you think that's the best idea, regardless if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
think it's our fastest way,
sure, I
most
guess
surefire way to find it,
if there's no other
we can make it work.
ideas, the worst idea is the best idea. That,
Yep,
yeah, okay.
that's right.
I mean, I take your point, and I agree that where there's nothing we can't do.
We
But
just fought a thing in our dreams. Like
yeah, and I'm really
she was
sorry
600.
about that too.
Delaney was 600 years old. She was like, "What the hell are y'all? We're we're built different, you know.
Yeah.
We can get this. We can figure this one out."
I hope so. Okay, I'm gonna go again. Sorry. I'll walk out.
Cielo, are you there?
Sleepy.
He may have fallen asleep.
Hey,
That's fine.
he went night night. I'm gonna look at Rock. Thoughts, and then Karos. You're the two smartest ones here.
Well, I will
Oh.
interject before anyone says. Kairos' thoughts is like, Cielo, keep an eye on him.
I've been distracted playing because you did your truth circle, and I didn't want to have to say anything because I don't know all the truths about myself. So,
Completely fair.
I just thought if I played the Pebble, none of you would know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I just told you all of that. Did you turn your truth circle off?
No. But if you ever want to talk about it, just let me know. With or without the zone.
Oh.
I don't want to be anybody else. Why is it every time I go into a dream, I'm something else, someone else, something else comes inside? Hey, I just want to be Rock.
Rock, when you say that,
Yeah.
go ahead and give me a personal history check, if you would.
This is supposed to lead to a roll.
Too bad.
Too bad.
DM says
I'm a
it does.
cruel- I'm a cruel DM.
Memory
21.
materializing.
21 total.
21.
No memories, no.
So no, it's not so much memories, but you'll remember like within the last week, because you guys have done so much in a week. When you were at the Jabberwocky temple, the temple of origin, the life origin temple. You guys eventually did find the notes and stuff that were left behind by who was likely the Hendecolite or an apostle of the Hendecolite or whoever was following the Hendecolite. And you remember reading and almost sort of sympathizing with, I believe Al read it, but you heard him read it, that why is it that we are limited to the forms that we are given? Why can't we be more?
Yes, that. I didn't like that
Yeah,
because that felt
yeah,
very relative to flashbacks.
yeah. That just kind of likes to stay in your mind for a little while now.
Yeah.
You brought it up. I gotta torture you. That's what I do. So yeah,
I just want to be Rock. I'm not even sure if I am Rock, but that's who I want to be.
you are who you make yourself to be, right? So yeah, just that. Yeah. In all seriousness, I think if you were to ask Karos, him being the calm, collected one, he would straight up tell Cielo to shadow Davis. I don't know if Cielo will do it, but I think that's what he would say. Go be his shadow. But yeah. Other than that,
Also, yeah, I
do
did
we want to do?
message you, Adam. What
I saw.
was okay?
I
Just
did.
making sure.
Yeah. Do you want to do that this session or do you want to do that next session?
It's whatever. We're getting to a stopping point. So.
We're getting to a stopping point. That's what I was thinking. And I'll
One
give you
more
some
for
time to
this.
think.
One
Yeah.
more for the session as well. If you don't mind.
Yep. Go for it.
Were the caretakers, were they around during most of this, or did they leave?
No,
Were we in a
they gave
separate
you
room?
space. I know they gave you their space. So you guys have to realize you guys are like
Well, big shit.
honored guests amongst the unveilers, right? And not I also have to stress this. Very few people actually understand that the Alabaster Museum and the Alabasters are run by the unveilers. They just think they're museum curators and stuff like that. You actually understand their true affiliations. That's not a given.
Okay.
like, if you were to say, "Hey, Unveilers," people would be like, "Huh?" You know?
Who's
Yeah. So,
okay.
um,
Then it might
so
be
yeah,
a next session thing. I want to head down to caregivers for a question, but particularly the ones that were caretaking over Rock and related to the engine and telly.
sure. Just
Uh,
make sure you write down your thoughts so that you have them for next week.
Mhm.
Yeah, Davis, we'll see. You'll either do yours now or we'll do it next week, so I have some time to think.
Sure.
Um, I would say, just for the sake of importance, maybe a quick recap of things would be good, just so you guys can kind of
oh yeah.
keep that on your mind. And then I would stress watching at least the second part of this session next week. So things that were uncovered or figured out, uh, no particular order, but I do think it's important for y'all to consider these things. 3 of the party members have had ties with illithids and their background. 1 through heritage, Ben. 1 through direct contact, Karos. 1 through deception and proximity, Davis. Ben would have said it that his brother said that, oh, there are rumors that they've been around. Karos would also say that they have been around, but he found them in dark and deep places. Dark and deep places are often associated with underground, and there are other things underground. That's something for y'all to potentially track on. The bag is indeed a otherworldly, or is associated or affiliated or tied to an otherworldly entity. Aberrant in nature is the most likely guess. You had only really discussed one of the C words tonight, and that was consume. And and that's only the one that Davis knows, but he brought it up. And I will say that with confidence, Davis, consume refers to the entity in the bag. As to what it is consuming, I don't know. That's for you to figure out. What else is there that needs to be really discussed? Oh yeah, how the whole dream thing happened. So it started off correct. You guys were dream gazing. How you guys got sucked in is incorrect. That was because the broken engine interacting with the spell, magic goes haywire. Hi. The first portion of it is the dream. Delaney has a hard time staying with you guys because of the interference from the magic and how you guys got brought into the dream. And at some point, it does indeed shift into projecting yourselves into this reality again, but it's still like pseudo dream, pseudo reality manifesting you. You all have seen that symbol for the tower. Through discussion and realization, you would all understand that tower, the rock picks it up in pretty much instantaneously, but all of you will at some point realize that tower is the call key that was in the Nexus tower, the Nexus hub on the top of the sculpted tower. That there is a Nexus that leads directly to it, if you wish to go that way. Potentially, if it's working, I should say. The illithids that you saw have adapted to their environment. Mm, is there anything else?
Lily a
Davis was
bitch.
Lily a bitch, yeah. Davis was good at what he did, but Lily a bitch. Yeah. You guys are level 16. All
Woo!
right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to throw in there we did this under a full loon.
Ooh, spooky.
Oh yeah. So, Yeah, unless if there's anything else anyone wants to interject or bring up, I think that'll give me some time to build and you guys to discuss.
Woo.
We'll see what happens in session 175.